What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the topic of what makes instant compatibility between two people when it comes to their synastry. There are three different synastry aspects that may contribute to making a connection feel like it is one where things flow naturally between two people and there's a sense of harmony between them that can make a connection feel easy and even feel natural as well. Because when it comes to the compatibility between two people in relationships, it does go beyond the initial attraction between two people. And with the sense of an instant compatibility between two people can feel like there is this natural understanding or feeling of they just click with each other, because there can be the sense of just getting each other without things feeling too awkward or even confusing. So in essence, it's them feeling like they just click, especially emotionally or mentally, or even as far as their life goals. There's a sense of things just flow between the two of them. And even when it comes to their initial meetings, it can be that sense of feeling like they've known each other forever. Even if they just met, it can feel like they've known each other forever. It can feel like having that glimmer in a relationship between two people. And when it comes to their connection with the presence of that compatibility between the two of them, they also just feel like they have what feels like a magical connection. And you can feel that early on, hence it's the sense of an instant compatibility between them. So in this video, I'll be mentioning these may be the top 3 aspects for this topic, but I have gone into detail on each of these aspects in a video about them that you can feel free to check out as well on this channel. So the first aspect for instant compatibility between two people in relationships, I would say, is having your sun in a trining aspect to their moon. So when it comes to having the sun trine a partner's moon in synastry, this aspect is a pretty harmonious one with the trine here. And with the sun, you have somebody's core identity, somebody's core energy, their sense of self lining up with somebody's emotions, which is the moon. And when it comes to having this aspect between these two planets, it brings about this pretty natural energy between the sun person and the moon person. For that reason, between the sun person and the moon person, they can naturally find themselves on the same page in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to things like life and the bigger picture of life. Along with the more emotional side of things, they can be on the same wavelength, making them in sync almost quite naturally. And between the sun person and the moon person, they can actually feel like it's like being in a connection with somebody who understands the way that they feel quite easily. And with this aspect, it tends to be no drama or low-level drama, because with the trine aspect between the sun and the moon, they tend to have emotional supporting energy of each other in their relationship. And between the sun person and the moon person, they can just be that balance between the two of them, and even the way that they're approaching their relationship with each other. And so that's why with having the sun trining your partner's moon, this is a great aspect for having compatibility. And I do feel that it is having compatibility quite early on between two people. And this contributes to that feeling of having that instant compatibility within a relationship between two people. Usually when it comes to having a trine between the moon and the sun, two people can really complement each other's energy quite perfectly. And when it comes to the two of them having a sense of balance, especially between the outlook, between things like emotional security, as well as even mutual respect that they can have for each other, they really can complement each other quite well. And they can have a sense of really being able to feel like they are on the same page in a lot of ways. It feels like they really do get each other on a deep level, and it also creates this feeling of belonging within a relationship for the both of them. The next aspect would have to be when it comes to having your Mercury in a sextile with your partner's Venus. And this is especially important and going to contribute towards the feeling of instant compatibility between two people, because it does allow for there to be a good rapport between the Mercury person and the Venus person, especially when it comes to their conversations being something that flows quite effortlessly and easy and naturally. And it feels like it flows quite smoothly for the Mercury person as well as the Venus person. Because when it comes to this aspect, the Mercury person's way of communicating aligns with the Venus person's values and even the Venus person's affections, and they can really align and be on the same page when it comes to things like sharing the same perspective, as well as things like their humor and being able to appreciate that from each other. They're also going to really enjoy and appreciate the style of being able to communicate with each other and chat with each other. And when it comes to conversations with each other, it doesn't matter if it's the deep kind of conversations or if it is even the casual chit chats between the two of them. They can really appreciate those. And that's because with this aspect is going to make it so that they actually click on an intellectual level, but also on an emotional level. And when it comes to their interactions and their building of rapport with each other, it flows smoothly because this aspect makes it feel easy. And it can feel like being in connection with somebody where there's this feeling of friendship between the two of them. And when it comes to being able to understand each other, as well as even when it comes to things like flirting with each other and things like resolving conflicts between each other, there is this effortless type of a feel to be able to get to that place with each other where things are happening smoothly, almost effortlessly, but this does feel like a sense of being able to enjoy that process. So it can feel very fun, it can feel very easy for them. And when it comes to having this aspect, it tends to be present between two people who are in friendship, but also in romantic relationships, because they do tend to have a lot of smooth conversations, but they also tend to share in a lot of interests, and essentially all around having this easy communication between the two of them. And this is going to make it feel like they're quite compatible, and they're able to recognize that early on within their relationship with each other. And last but not least is when it comes to having a conjunction between your ascendant and your partner's ascendant. So when it comes to the ascendant, this is how we present ourselves to the world. So having the ascendant lining up with your partner's ascendant is also going to contribute towards two people with a similar outlook in life. And because the ascendant is all about how we present ourselves to the world, when it comes to having this alignment between both people's ascendants, they both can feel like they get each other. And for real, like there's no need for pretending to be anything other than what you are, and the other partner is also not pretending to be anything other than what they are. It's just a real connection that feels quite easy, especially when it comes to feeling at ease in each other's presence. And when it comes to having this aspect, it's also great for physical attraction, but the two of them are also going to share in a lot of things, like their lifestyles also being something in compatibility. And also when it comes to having this aspect between the two people, they're going to also feel this almost intuitive or instinctual feeling of knowing how to relate to each other when it comes to their worldviews. Because with this aspect, they naturally are kind of approaching life and even presenting themselves in this world in a way that is similar. So between the two people, they can just feel on the same page from early on and right from the start when it comes to their relationship. They can just feel the sense of being on the same page when it comes to having the ascendant conjuncting partner's ascendant. So those are the top 3 aspects that can create instant compatibility when it comes to synastry between two people in relationships. With these aspects, there can be this feeling of things falling into place quite easily between two people without them even trying or having to try too hard. If you are curious about your own synastry and you check your synastry chart with somebody and see if you have any of these aspects within your synastry with somebody, you may discover some very interesting things when it comes to having these aspects with somebody in your relationships. Well, that does it for this video on the top 3 synastry aspects that contribute to having instant compatibility with somebody in synastry. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it helpful. And if you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Well, that is where I love and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.